What's up guys, and welcome to Portal Fall Valley, a newly discovered part of Eventide in the Exodus TCG. We'll learn more about this place as time goes on, but for now we're here to bring you a video that will hopefully spark some creative new ideas while deck building. Without further ado, let's get right into it. First up, we have a dimensional deck. I'd like to point out that this deck is a really great example of what to look for when deck building. For starters, it has a unified theme. The dimensional creatures or cards with dust in the name are all retrievable from your graveyard. Thanks to cards like Dimensional Dust, you'll never be stuck without a creature in your hand. We run 2 copies of the Dimensional Dragon and Dimensional Desperado because those are our main creatures. We also play 2 Dawn Dust Paladin because she has dust in her name. Every single one of these creatures can be searched out of your graveyard at any point during the game with the symmetry card Dimensional Dust. For the rest of the deck, we only play doubles of our most important cards. Alana is in here as a backup attacker and because of the energy boost from her ability. Overall, the deck is extremely versatile and can be adjusted to your playstyle. Isles of the Morning Star and Starbluff Summit are really just tech cards. They can be useful in certain situations or removed altogether if you want to keep to the minimum of a 20 card main deck. Beacon of Worlds has great synergy with Reversion and Unsummon. You can move an energy in play to whatever creature is giving you trouble, effectively removing that creature from play and usually leaving your opponent wide open to a direct attack from your dimensional creatures. Beacon is also good for moving your used energy to something that hasn't attacked yet, getting in more damage. Having dual duty cards like these ensure you're prepared for a variety of situations. When deck building, you generally want to think about what kind of unique strategy is going to lead you to victory. What can your deck do best that others can't? For the dimensional deck, that's searching out cards from your graveyard without having to wait for a deck recycle. It's for this very reason that the deck does well with little to no ability creatures. In my opinion, it's one of the best decks that you can build mixing cards from starters, adding in only a few cards from Galaxy Tides. Next is the Order. Order decks have so many powerful capabilities, but they are not the easiest type of deck to play. This booster exclusive creature type specializes in weapons and blades, and unique mechanics to affect other Order creatures. My build in particular focuses on multi-attacking and protection. To show you just how insanely strong this deck can be, let's take a look at what cards we're using. Victory, Keeper of the Order, is our perfect guard. Her ability is Royal Decree. While Victory is on your field, your opponent cannot attack your other Order creatures. This means they must attack Victory before they target any of your other creatures. If you manage to get 2 Victories out on the field at the same time, your opponent is locked out of attacking any of your creatures at all, since each Victory's ability affects the other. Council of Galaxies' ability is View the Void. When this creature is summoned, you may look at the top card of your main deck and put it back on top or bottom. This gives you semi-control over what cards you'll draw. Order also uses cards that affect rarity with cards like Cosmic Shield Archangel. Its ability is Catastrophic Rings. When this creature is summoned, you must pay 1 energy from anywhere on your field or hand. Then you and your opponent each send a rare creature on your field to the graveyard. This is an amazing ability because the energy attached to those creatures remains in play. Since you're still in your creature phase, you can just summon another creature back down on that pile of energy. Archangel is also a rare, so you could even use her as a target for her own effect. But be warned, Cosmic Shield Archangel is a complex card. If misplayed, she can cause you to discard 2 of your own rares. Before we get to our main attacker, let's explore Endilmore, Bringer of Victory. When Endilmore is summoned, you may search your main deck for a Victory, Keeper of the Order, and add it to your hand. Since we already draw 3 cards every turn and have top deck manipulation with Council of Galaxies, I find playing 1 copy of Endilmore useful for searching out the second Victory. If you really want to surprise your opponent, look no further than Blossom of Veil. This is one of my absolute favorite cards. It's also the reason why we don't play Chains in this deck, and why we play 3 uncommon Order creatures. If you have less life points than your opponent and no creatures on your field, Blossom of Veil lets you summon an uncommon creature from your graveyard with 2 energy on it. While this card does work on any 2-star uncommon creature, it's absolutely crucial that we use Order types so they're protected from attacks when Victory comes into play. Oftentimes with this deck, you want to give your opponent the illusion that they're winning, only to surge back into the game with Blossom of Veil. When you need more firepower, we turn to our finisher, Legendary Blade Lazarus. This dual-wielding Antler Angel is the first and only creature in Exodus that's able to attack twice per turn. For the minimal cost of 1 energy from herself, she can conduct a second attack during your turn with Blade Barrage. You can use her as a sweeper to dish out tons of damage, or finish the game with a double direct attack. When properly powered up, I've seen 2 Lazaruses attack directly for over 30 life points in a single turn. Apparition Grove is another key card that allows you to pay 1 energy to switch a creature on your field with a creature in your hand. This can turn the legendary blade from a double attacker into a potential triple or even quadruple attacker. While Victory does protect Lazarus from being attacked, watch out for opposing symmetry cards or rarity effects. All in all, the deck can deal devastating amounts of damage, but the playstyle is more geared towards the advanced player. Third on our deck building list is a deck we like to call Starship Core. Credit for this original deck idea goes to Mark Lee from San Diego. He actually won first place at a recent tournament with this deck, and it was so cool we thought we would feature it. The concept stems from the surprising synergy between Airship's ability Corrosive Charge and Starbound Glacier's ability Infinite-Blockade. Besides being illustrated in this awesome watercolor style artwork, Airship Core was the first ability creature ever made. Corrosive Charge reads, when this creature is summoned, move 1 energy from another creature on your side of the field to this creature. The strategy is to use Infinite Blockade to accumulate energy every turn, then use Corrosive Charge to move that energy to your airships. Airship strikes become even more powerful when you use cards like Leech, Endowment, and Energize. Beacon of Worlds gives you even further movement with your energy, oftentimes keeping your airships at a healthy 7+ energy. With supporting roles from cards like Legendary Blade Lazarus and Council of Galaxies, you can deal an impressive amount of damage. The commons are in here in case your opponent is using cards like Everdrift Islands so that they get buffed as well. Remember that there are still so many different kinds of decks that you can build. Be creative and have fun, and see what kinds of new Exodus decks you can come up with.